We're now joined by investigative journalist Mr. Gareth Porter to tell us more about that story. Mr. Porter, welcome to the program. According to that very individual who I just mentioned, who spoke to us earlier here on Press TV, levels of uranium have been found in blood and urine tests taken away from Afghans. First of all, does this news come as a surprise to you?
Well, of course, there's plenty of evidence from past years about the use of depleted uranium in all the wars, recent wars of the United States, including the first Gulf War, the invasion of Iraq, and as well as Afghanistan. So, no, this is not a surprise at all. In fact, I think it's well established that the U.S. military has been using depleted uraniums, particularly with regard to the bullets or ammunition that are used by the A-10 Warthog aircraft, and specifically to penetrate armor or any target that is conceived to be or imagined to be hard to penetrate. This is what depleted uranium shells are used for. That's what they're specialized for. They are the hardest substance that they've been able to find for penetrating armor. The question, of course, is why you would use it in Afghanistan, where the Taliban clearly have no tanks. The usual kinds of targets are simply not present there. But nevertheless, the A-10 Warthog has been using the depleted uranium shells, particularly for large caliber 120 millimeter, but also smaller caliber ammunition.
Mr. Porter, do you think that Afghans themselves and Kabul is aware of this issue? And also, along the lines, can you describe for us what repercussions depleted uranium will have for future generations there?
Yes, what people need to understand is that depleted uranium shells are shells that are extremely they cause extreme heat in the course of being fired at the target and arriving at the target, and as a result the uranium burns up and it releases very tiny units of uranium into the atmosphere, and this is how human beings can ingest the uranium in very easily and cause, of course, toxic consequences for the human body, as well as certainly deformities in children born to families who are experienced or exposed to the depleted uranium.
Mr. Porter, so far the U.S. and its coalition allies have pretty much gotten away with a wide range of violations, specifically in the region. Just to mention a few are those committed in Iraq, the drone strikes, ongoing drone strikes in Pakistan. How can this case regarding the depleted uranium in Afghanistan be any different? How can the U.S. be held accountable for its crimes?
Well, you asked me a moment ago, are the people in Kabul, and particularly officials in Kabul, on the Afghanistan side, on the Afghan side, aware of this issue? And I think the answer is almost certainly only in the dimmest way are they aware of it. And I think that's really the problem, that this has been so obscure in terms of various issues associated with the U.S.-NATO war in Afghanistan. It simply has not been covered by the news media in any way over the last 10 years or so. And, you have an international coalition to ban uranium weapons, which has been trying to, of course, raise this issue, but I think that they have not been successful in doing so, although they report that the U.S. government now has said that it is going to try to find alternatives to uranium weapons for the future needs to penetrate armor, partly, apparently, in response to environmental problems in the United States associated with both the manufacture of these weapons as well as the storage and disposal of the weapons. So it may well be that in the end it will be the consequences here at home of such toxic weapons that will cause the the United States to make a change. This, of course, is the history of U.S. use of highly dangerous weapons, that they always cause damage to the population here at home as well as to those against whom they're used abroad.
All right, many thanks. Investigative journalist Mr. Gareth Porter from Washington, thank you for your time.